So I'm going to do this one a little bit different. Watch this news report, and then I'm going to come back.
And inmates say this Brooklyn facility hasn't had heat, hasn't had power, hasn't had hot water for days.
Now, they described the building as an icebox. Remember, New York saw temperatures as low as 2 degrees last week because of that Arctic blast that swept across parts of the country. CNN correspondent Polo Sandoval is in New York with more details. Okay, Polo, how long have they been without heat, and are any of these resources, these utilities, back on now?
It appears that they've been without those resources since Thursday, Victor Christie. Both prisoners and personnel at that Brooklyn federal facility, they have been in the dark for days now. And get this, a fix, according to federal officials, may not happen until tomorrow, possibly. An organizer with the American Federation of Government Employees says that prison staff are being forced to work in freezing temperatures. Some, according to a congresswoman who visited the federal lockup recently, says that they are wearing coats, scarves to carry out their duties in the dark. Remember, as you correctly point out, it's been extremely cold throughout the Northeast with temperatures in the teens overnight. Also, protesters, they've been gathering outside the facility since yesterday. They're concerned that people inside have been exposed to what they believe are inhumane conditions. According to the Federal Bureau of Prisons, it was a fire in a room that houses electrical equipment that left one of the two buildings partially in the dark.
Dark spots where we're moving inmates and there's no light. So we're really afraid for the staff member safety as well as the inmates because there's a lot of areas where we cannot see. Some of the officers got injured today trying to lock the inmates back in the cells.
All right, so where do things stand now? Officials say that repairs have been done, but crews still have to restore power. But a spokesperson for the local utility company tells us that they are ready to reconnect power once the repairs are completed. A release from the Bureau of Prisons yesterday says that they have already submitted a ticket to try to get that power restored, and it is expected to be completed by Monday, February 4th. That's tomorrow. Quick background on the facility here. The population, about 1,600 people. Inmates housed there include those with serious chronic or medical problems and others with some violent or escape-prone individuals. So that certainly just highlights the need, Christine, Victor, to try to find a solution to the situation.
More than 1,600 inmates at a Brooklyn prison have heat, lights, and hot water again. That's after a power outage left them in the freezing cold for days.
This is my son! I'm here! I'm here! I'm here! David! Are you good? No!
Protesters, including that mother you heard just there, were gathered outside the building over the weekend. Things got really heated when the protests actually moved inside. Before power was restored, New York officials said the situation was inhumane and possibly illegal.
There's a lack of urgency, which is a major issue since individuals are in the dark.
We need a better heating system for this building because even when it's operating properly, it's not sufficient for really cold weather. And that's a problem that's obviously been there as long as the building's been there, but now we're noticing.
Well, prison officials say a fire in an electrical room led to the outage. The Justice Department vows to make sure it never happens again.
The restoration of power came after New York Governor Andrew Cuomo called on Justice Department to immediately investigate circumstances at the detention center. Cuomo said the allegations are a violation of human decency and dignity for the inmates and may be illegal. Temperatures have been dropping into the teens at night. Prisoners in New York are human beings. Let's treat them that way. When I first read that, I was like, that's great that he said that, And I was like, what day did he say that, though? New York Attorney General Letitia James added in a statement, it's unacceptable, illegal, and inhumane to detain people without basic amenities, access to counsel, or medical care. So I started reaching. I'm like, what day did he say that, though? What day? Because this went on for a few days. What day did he say that? New York Governor Andrew Cuomo on Sunday. Them people have been in there. The inmates and the correction officers been in there without heat, hot water, and electricity since January 27th. My birthday was Monday, which was the 28th. So I know that was a Sunday. So they been in there since Sunday. A whole week. The governor didn't know. The Federal Bureau of Prisons has acknowledged a partial power outage began January 27th, but denied that it had any effect on heating at the facility. The Bureau said Sunday in a statement that the new electrical panel has been installed the day before. Heating to the building is provided via a boiler, which is not affected by the power outage, the statement said. Inmates have hot water for showers and hot water in the sinks in the cells. Essential personnel hygiene items as medical service continue to be provided. The agency noted that the inmates' telephone, computers, and televisions were not working due to the electrical issue. It said prisoners still had access to public defender phones and medical care. I told you my brain pattern is interesting. All right. The first time I heard that this was going on, I'm not going to even lie and say the first time I heard. When I started researching this to figure out what I was going to say, how I was going to say it, all that kind of stuff, the first thing that popped in my mind was how much money did they save by not having the heat on for a week? Heat costs a lot of money, people. Heat is very expensive. How much money did they save? And then my brain kept going. Why then would they really care about anybody that's in this prison? Because we all live in New York. Most of the correctional officers are black. Most of the correctional officers are black. You got two birds, one stone. They don't care about the correctional officers just as much as they don't care about the inmates. They leave you in freezing cold for a whole goddamn week. How much money did they save by freezing those two birds with one stone? So what else interested me about this situation is I was like, you know what? Who is this warden? Who is the warden? And there was a black politician. He was on the news, and a black politician that paid no attention to the nail shop situation. But anyway, he was on the news and he was talking about how he had a meeting with Warden Quay. And I was like, who is this person? And I just started looking. You know, they have scrubbed the internet of pictures of this man. I have no idea what he looks like, and I have exhausted everything. There is a poster from 2016. There's a news article where he attended an event. I clicked on the article. The article is all of a sudden it's not found. And it's only from 2016. I cannot find a picture of this person anywhere. I think that's strange. Don't you think that's strange? I think that's strange. And like I said in my live, it's not like wardens are a protected class, like they're undercover agents or something like that. So why is his picture nowhere to be found? That's interesting to me. My melanin is tingling. Okay? So they have started a petition to have him removed, and I think we should sign this petition to have him removed. They only need 2,500 signatures. I know we could do that. So I'm going to be putting the link to the petition below. So as I'm looking up Herman Edward Quay, that's his name, Herman Edward Quay. He is the warden of the jail the picture that I cannot find. They are, for some reason, they are withholding that. And even there was a video of him online. I found like one of the protesters had a video of him, but as soon as it got to his face, the video shut off, and the video was only 19 seconds. Don't you think that's odd? I think that's odd. My melanin is tingling on this. Okay. So anyway, as I was looking for a picture of this man, this article pops up. Now I'm not gonna be able to read it here. This is gonna be a part 2 to this. Okay. And I'm just gonna read you the headline. Federal jail in Brooklyn faces a string of sexual assault cases.
We're not leaving. Is that right, bro? We'll be here all night. Tomorrow night.
Yo,
yeah.
we need pressure on the mayor. Someone needs to.
Somebody tell the mayor that this is inhumane.
Let him know.
These brothers are banging on the window. You hear them?
Tamika's on it. Go.
The brothers are banging all over the windows. They have no heat, no hot water, no electricity. It's disgusting, man. It's disgusting. Everybody repost this, retweet it, tweet out to the mayor, tweet out to the governor, tweet out to everybody.
I sacrifice our lives every day. We gonna do it till we get this shit right. If your toilets are working, beg. Silence. If you had your visit this weekend, bang. One person had a visit. How many of them in there? Because he's banging. He stopped. If you received the warmers that were sent, bang. Silence.
It's too quiet.
That is unacceptable.
It's a problem.
Now let me ask the question in reverse. If you have not received the blankets sent, bang. You see that? Unacceptable. Unacceptable. They did not get the blankets. They got the blankets. Wait, who got the blankets?
That's how cold it is. The AC on with the shutdown. The AC on, but they can't put the heat on. Y'all niggas walking around with shit all crazy. Niggas is sick, walking around with colds and shit. They shut us down when they want, lock us out when they want. My toilet don't even work. The toilet don't work.
That's a shitty situation.
I can't even use the toilet. My hair's off on the outside world. It's cold. It's freezing in here.
ASPCA treat the pit bulls better than we get treated.
Cruelty, but they treated humans worse than animals. Guys are sick and all cold. It's crazy. Take a look outside. Everybody cold. Everybody wrapped up.